Hey there, everybody. Radu Hahanu here. I'm excited to have you all present today on this awesome webinar. Now, before we actually get started, I want to check if you can properly hear my voice and see my screen. It should say webinar will begin shortly, start time 2 p.m. Eastern. Give me a yes in the chat box if you can hear my voice and if you can see my screen. Okay, awesome, excellent, great. So as I started, I'm excited to have you all here. Today is a Monday, so it's the start of what's supposed to be a super productive week for all of us. So hopefully what you'll see here, you'll start applying from today to skyrocket your business and have a very productive week. Now, I can see people are still jumping on the webinar, so we're going to allow a couple more minutes for them to join us before actually going into the training. So with that in mind, welcome. My name is Radu Hahanu. I'm from Romania, and I would really appreciate if you can also share your name and location with me in the chat box so I can get a feel of where the audience is from, what your interests are, and so on. So I'm gonna give you a second to do that. Awesome. Hey from Canada. We've got a lot of people from Canada, it looks like. Tom from Ottawa, Wolfgang, again, Canada, California, South Africa, Joe from Chicago, Richard from Texas, uh, Ton from the Netherlands, Spencer from Washington, again, Ray from Canada, Jeremy from Ohio, uh, Pirjo from Finland, Alan from UK, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Mahesh from Zambia, Amor from the UK. There's a ton of you guys. I'm gonna try and say all of the names, but there are literally hundreds here. Art from California. Hey, Art. Bartel from Netherlands again. Ryan from San Francisco. We got somebody from Sweden, whose name I suppose is pronounced Ingalil. Hey, Ingalil. Los Angeles, California. Jim from Oxfordshire, UK. Matt from New York. John from South Africa. We've got Mark from Jacksonville. Richard, Bill, Carl, and a lot more. Thanks for sharing that with me. Again, welcome to the webinar. Tons of content going to be shared here. So what I want you to do is shut down all of the distractions and pay attention to this webinar. We're probably going to run a bit over 1 hour. So I'm not going to take all the day. So just pay attention for this 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes or so that you can truly understand what I'm going to share and so that you can actually start implementing it in your business. All right? Give me a why if that sounds fair to you. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna start the presentation. If at any point my sound stops or the slides don't show properly, give me a nudge. Sometimes GoToWebinar messes up those presentations, so just write in the chat box. I'll do my best to fix it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so thank you for your time because I know it's valuable. It's probably the most valuable asset any of us has. So I promise I respect it. So I'm keeping this webinar exciting. I'm not gonna bore you, straight to the point and fluff free, okay? We're gonna have an awesome time. So let's get into it. As I mentioned, this webinar is absolutely packed full of actionable content. You can start applying from today, right? So unlike other webinars that leave you confused, if you have a pen and paper, you can actually sketch a plan that you can start implementing from today if you pay attention. It won't take very long, as I mentioned. Probably it will run a bit over 1 hour, taking into consideration all the questions and so. And it's special for my customers and clients. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but I usually do webinars very rarely, and I use them to actually get my audience up to date with everything I do in my business that actually works and actually makes me money. So instead of doing webinars all the time, sharing very little valuable information, I do them every 6 months or so and deliver a ton full of useful content. Okay, so what you're going to see is actual useful information that I'm using in my business and that works right now in October 2015 in internet marketing. Okay, so thanks again for joining. Hope you're excited. Are you excited? Give me a Y in the chat box if everything sounds exciting to you so far. Okay, awesome, thank you. Great. All right, let's get started. You learned the secret to a profitable online business and the reason why it seems that you can't quite make it in this industry, and that's because the gurus are hiding a very valuable piece of information from you. Okay, so here's a little bit of background info about me in case you don't know it and in case you're not familiar with my story. Okay, so I started internet marketing about 4 years ago, and I started with SEO because this is basically what everybody was doing back then. And I had a lot of Panda and Penguin sites getting busted by those upgrades. So I got back by building and ranking authority sites. So this is a little bit of proof from me, so you know that I actually was making money from SEO, and it was actually good to me. Okay, so I'm not bashing SEO out of the gate. It works, and for some people it works incredibly well, and it has worked incredibly well for me as well. So I do know SEO, and I know how to rank a site in as little as 7 days. I know how to make it generate revenue on autopilot. Okay, I want to establish that with you, so you know that I'm not bashing SEO in any form in what's going to come next, because all the training in this webinar is somehow opposed to the concept of SEO, and you learn that in a minute. Okay, so I've been doing over $2,000 per month with SEO, but okay, and here's the but. I didn't like the fact that Google controlled my destiny, and I think you can relate, right? You are struggling. I mean, I was struggling. Perhaps you can relate, and the same thing happened to you. I was struggling day in and day out to actually fulfill those needs that Google asked from me, and then one day, out of the blue, they could actually change the laws of the game and leave me without any traffic and without any revenue. So in that regard, it was just like a job. Okay, Google was basically my employer. They were paying me money as long as I was doing what they needed me to do, and they could actually cut off all my revenue when they wanted. So I didn't like it. It was just like a job. So I had this system in place making me money, and I had the traffic from SEO, but I wanted to change. And it became clearer and clearer that SEO is not the way to go long term, again because I hated the fact that I was so reliant on Google and its traffic. So I started to outsource SEO so I can find a new way of making money. So I built my custom made software and a small outsourcing team to make me more money faster and easier, so I can focus on that other area, right? So one day in 2011, I stumbled upon the WSO section of the Warrior Forum. Now, does everybody know what the Warrior Forum is? Give me a Y in the chat box if you know what the Warrior Forum is. Right, okay. It's basically a forum where people used to share information, and more importantly, they used to sell a lot of stuff like training guides and software. It's not as popular these days, but basically, there was so much crap in there back in 2011 that I thought that my software will stand head and shoulders above it. And this was the software that I was actually using in my business. So it was easy for me to launch it, so to speak, to put it up in the Warrior Forum and make a lot of money. And I was right, okay? That little software launch, it was basically a forum post where I sold my software. It made me $5,000 in revenue, and it put me on a new path that ended up with me generating over $1 million in sales with my product launches to date, and had over 15 times the product of the day on JBZU and Warrior Plus. So I realized that while there is a ton of money to be made in SEO and all those other niches, okay, I'm talking here not only about SEO, but if you're into Facebook ads, right? Facebook can ban your ad account at any time. You're reliant on that source of traffic. It's still like Facebook is your boss. If you're doing Amazon marketing, That's the same if you don't respect Amazon's rules. They can cut off your traffic supply. You're out of money. It's not a real business in the sense that you control it. So even though some crush with it with SEO, Facebook and Amazon and so on, it's not as profitable for everybody else. And it's because Google controls the whole system, and they pay you peanuts and can fire you anytime. And again, don't get me started on Amazon's 4% commissions or Facebook ability to ban you anytime you want to, right? So this is from just 2 launches I did 1 year ago, and they were both inside 1 month and generated $76,000 for me in sales. Now affiliates were getting roughly 50% of that, but 50% was my pure profit. This is the total of money generated from one of my accounts this year, and it's staggering, as you can see. I mean, if you contrast it with how much money I was making from SEO, there's not even space for a comparison here. This is some of my products. This one right here is actually a coaching student of mine whom I helped, and he launched what turned out to be the most popular product and the best selling product over a period of 30 days. So without a doubt, it sold like crazy. Those are some of my product launches. As you can see, they top charts because I found this formula of launching products and getting in a lot of money. This is the sort of sales we expect to make inside 1 month. And again, statistics from another launch that happened in May this year. As you can see, tons of sales, tons of revenue, and it's much easier because we control everything. So from that point on, I realized that SEO, Facebook ads, Amazon, and so on, they're not businesses in the right way. And so I transitioned fully from SEO to selling my own products. And what a difference that was. I mean, you could just see it in my screenshots earlier. From $2,000 a month and the fear of getting slapped at any time. I mean, I was literally going to sleep afraid that I could wake up and making no money in starting from that day because of Google and because of the possibility of getting slapped. So from going to that, I generated $97,000, 543 with my last launch. Now, what am I doing these days? Those are screenshots from the past 2 months. As you can see, September 2015 and August 2015. Now, as you can see, together I've grossed over $100,000. So the method is super effective today. It's something that actually works, and that's unlike what other people usually share with you, right? I mean, if you see a strategy that's usually burnt, and the person sharing the strategy with you, is using it to squeeze out the final few bucks out of it. But once people actually get into doing that strategy, they find out it's no longer profitable. So unlike that, this is actually working today, and it's working incredibly well, and it has been working for me for the past 4 years. It's not going anywhere because it's not exploiting a loophole, and because it's a real business that you're setting up. Now, this is Emailjet, which was a super simple software for us to do. It cost me about $500 to develop and generated close to $100,000 in sales, right? Does all this sound exciting to you? Give me a Y, a yes, a one, whatever. Show me your excitement if you want to learn more, and if this sounds like something you want to get into, if you're tired of always being behind the times, always struggling to fit what other people told you to, or what other software giants, Google, Amazon, Facebook wanted from you. Okay, awesome. Yes, because I can relate. This was me 4 years ago. I had the same problems, the same struggles, and nobody else is sharing this for a reason. And you're gonna see the reason, okay? The gurus don't want you knowing this sort of info. They want you scared that you're going to get slapped, that you lose traffic, so that you keep buying and buying and buying from them. They make money and you don't, okay? You're making peanuts. So Don't get me wrong, okay? I don't have to launch all the time because as you've seen, I usually launch maybe once a month or once every 2 or 3 months or so. So it's pretty often. But I'm doing it because I love it. I love sharing what works for me, software that I use, and usually that software that solves problems for users. So these products, they still sell for me years after I launch them, and it's the beauty of trickling traffic from affiliates, and it's because this sort of traffic never ends. Now, why is this so-called infinite traffic? It's because instead of you going out and creating review sites, publishing articles, getting backlinks, and so on, when you have the product, other people known as affiliates, they go ahead, they risk everything, their money, their time, building sites, building videos that they rank, that they pay for traffic to sell your product. Now, I can't stress how important this is. You finally don't need to worry about anything, especially Google, because they do all the work. You have the product, you have the asset, so you're acting like sort of Google. You're paying them for their work. They do all the work, you stay back, you cash in 50% of every sale. So if it's not abundantly clear by now, I'm gonna state it again. When you control the product, when you control the sale, you make all the money. And that's when you exit the rat race. That's when you end the so-called buyer mentality and you finally start controlling your destiny. Now, I want to get a why from you if everything makes sense up to this point, because I wanted this to be an aha moment for you and realize, yes, Radu's right about it. And, I'm excited for us to come. Give me a why. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I gotta say, this is one excited and exciting audience. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be presenting. Thank you for attending again. Let's continue then. By the way, if at any point there's something that's not clear, go ahead, type in the question, as I'll be answering all the questions at the end and sometimes even throughout the presentation. So if anything's not clear, if you've got questions, let me know. I'm gonna answer them, and I'm gonna answer each and every one of it. So what next for me? Now, I made money from SEO. I'm not anymore. I completely closed my SEO business at this point. But I made 10 times more by launching the training and software that got me there. And now I had this huge list of customers. So the natural consequence for me was to start doing email marketing, right? So this is me actually topping the leaderboards, and that means that I was one of the affiliates who sent the most sales. As you can see, there's my name literally everywhere. And why email marketing? Because this is where I wanted to actually get. Email marketing is the holy grail of true passive income and push button profit. Why? Because once you have the list in place, once you have the customers, all you have to do is write an email, click send, and you make money. Now, this is true power, and it's the power to create push button profits out of the blue. It's that easy. Now, this is what I've made this year alone, and you can see from the dates, it goes from January up to today. And I spent literally maybe 15 minutes or so a day writing emails. And what you can see here is pure profit, right? So why all this, right? You might be asking, okay, this all sounds good, but why all the proof, Radu? So you need to know how this can all help you. And I'm gonna show you where to start, what to do along the way, and how to finish. Everything from point A to point Z explained to you so that you can finally understand what internet marketing is all about and start a profitable business yourself, even from today. Now, I just showed you my SEO business, my product launch business, and my email marketing one. So obviously you want to know, where do I start And a question I get asked a lot by my coaching students is that, knowing what I know now, what would I do to start my online business if I were to go from scratch? So if I had none of the connections, none of the list I had, none of the product, nothing. There's one answer I give out every single time, and that hasn't changed the past 4 years. And that's product launching, plain and simple. And there are reasons for that. It's because product launching brings in the most money. It's reliable and safe because you control all the points in the marketing. You get the traffic from other people who risk their money and their time, but you sit back and enjoy the profit. So once you do it, you can actually outsource everything else, and you have the email list to start promoting products as well. Now, product launching jumpstarts your business in every single possible way, plain and simple. It's that easy. I mean, it's not even a comparison between any other business model and product launching. uh, let me see if this is still okay. So why all the proof? I showed you a ton of proof. Can you still hear my voice, and can you still see my screen? Give me a Y, because my computer, okay, did something strange. Okay, excellent. Sorry for that. So why all the proof? I showed you a ton of proof for one simple reason. The money made from product launching is so much more than any other online area, it's not even a discussion. It's life-changing money. I mean, what would you do if you had this much? And by the end of the training, you'll know how. Because you can too. And this is the point I wanted to actually get to. When I started out, I had no clue what to do next. I had almost no money to invest, and I had no real life experience. This was actually my first business starting out. It was my first business that I owned 100%. And I still made it. And I have tons of coaching students to date that can testify that this system works because they did it as well. So you can too, okay? And in fact, I'm also a coach. And as I mentioned throughout this webinar so far, people I worked with who never launched before, they went on and did their very own $50,000 launches after I helped them. So yes, there is a system. It is easy to replicate, and it just plain works. Now, does any of you know Mark Bishop? If you do know Mark Bishop, give me a Y in the chat box. If not, I'm gonna quickly. Okay, great. He's an awesome marketer, and what very few people know is that I was the one who helped him with his very first launch, called Niche Synergy. It was over 1 year ago, and it resulted in over $25,000 profit for him. Now, at this point, Mark is extremely experienced and he knows a lot of stuff. He's great at marketing, but back then he knew next to nothing about how to launch a product. So I helped him. I showed him the way for his very first launch, Niche Synergy. That made him $25,000 profit. And since then, he's all on his own. He's launching products every 5 or 6 months or so. Not very often, twice a year, and instead lives off the email marketing profits he does from email marketing. And that's the end goal you should pursue as well. Do a launch, get all the leads, and then start doing email marketing for true passive profit. Now, the secret. I wasn't always making 6 figures a year. And you have to understand that I started from zero. And in fact, when I first started out, I had a very hard time jumping from one method to another without seeing any meaningful results. Can you relate? Give me a yes if you can relate, or a Y, or a 1, or whatever. Just let me know if you can relate with this, if you struggle jumping from method to method, or if you're seeing success in a particular niche, but it's short-lived, and after a few months of maybe making some money, it just seems to go away, or you don't see an actual breakthrough and you don't see life-changing revenue. Okay, awesome. So throughout my coaching experience, I found out that a lot of people online are dealing with the same sort of issues. So you're not alone, because most people lack focus and a clear plan towards success, and instead they jump from method to method wasting their time and money in the process. Now, the best decision I've ever made and the catalyst for my six-figure business, and this same crucial factor that helped my students make over $5,000 pure profit per month online, is that I focused. I decided to go with one method and I kept pushing until I saw results. And the thing is, once you actually work on building a real business, not exploiting loopholes and not building a castle on sand, when you start putting your time, energy, money, focus, everything into one business that actually can show growth and results, that's when your business skyrockets and your income with it. I mean, in fact, my last year online, I've made more than in the last 2 years combined. So I'm a pretty extreme case because when I started out, I spent over $5,000. It was basically all the money I had to that point, and I spent it on training and software to achieve my goal. And that's not something I really recommend. My advice to you, and what my students did, and what turned out to be extremely successful, is that they got a coach. Products are great for learning this business, and training software does help, but it wasn't until they started the coaching program that their businesses exploded. And that's because a coach will give you clarity in what you need to do, and he'll be there to answer any questions every step of the way. With a coach, you won't be jumping around from method to method anymore. And instead, you'd rather focus on one and make that work. So I guarantee it's the best business decision you'll ever make. Now, keep that in mind as we move on. My number one advice, if it's not abundantly clear by now, is that you need to launch a product. Stop making other people money, and by other people I mean Google, Amazon, Facebook, or if you're doing affiliate marketing, all those vendors you're promoting. Work towards making all the money yourself and having others do all the work to make you money, and that's affiliates. So launching a product brings the kind of money that give you real financial freedom and the ability to focus on things that you love and be more with your family and loved ones. And I know that that was the goal for me, at least. So if you want the same, if your goal is the same, give me a yes, so I know I'm on the right path and I should continue with this. Okay, awesome. Great. Happy to be connecting with so many of you and to see that you're also sharing the same feelings as me. Okay, so by now you should be thinking, okay, Radu, I got it. It's clear which direction I need to go. However, at this point, you might be afraid to start because you got burnt in the past or you just don't know how. And this is what this training is all about. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do and how to do it. Now, does this seem good? We'll jump into the launch sequence and I'll show you how to generate step by step a huge amount of free traffic and tons of sales. However, a lot of people are afraid that they can't launch a product. They think that only experts that are already making a ton of money can launch products. And they think that launching a product requires a lot of hard selling other people, and they're afraid of it. They think it takes a lot of money outsourcing different tasks, or it takes a lot of experience. And they don't know how to bring traffic, or they just don't know exactly the steps, so they stay away from it. And the reason why this happens, because there's a very good reason this happens, is that most products online, software, training, whatever, you name it, they only give you a piece of the puzzle. And that you should have realized that by now. The so-called gurus, they purposefully keep you in the dark so that they can make money and that you can keep buying from them. Because if somebody came to you and explained that buying products is not the solution, but actually changing the buyer mentality into a seller mentality and start having your own products, the moment you stop buying from them, they stop making money. It's that easy, okay? So no one will actually go to you and tell you the real truth, and that's that product launching is the biggest money making online by far. So again, who makes the most money online? It's sellers. And sure, SEO works, affiliate marketing works, e-commerce works, and so on. But by far, the most money is by selling your own product. And the gurus won't tell you that because they don't want you to figure it out. Because then you'd move from the buyer mentality to the seller mentality. You'd stop buying their products and instead you start competing with them. And they don't want it, obviously. So this is the internet marketing system cracked. All you have to do is find the method that makes money. So for instance, SEO or affiliate marketing, because this is already established. Sell that method in a course or sell a software that enhances the method and profit big time. Even better, by the end, you'll have an email list of customers willing to buy more and more from you. So every time you email them, you make money. You create true, real cash on demand by pressing a single button, and you finally enjoy the freedom that you've always wanted. But Radu, I can't do this, right? You might be thinking, I don't know how to make money with SEO. If I don't get bombastic results, no one will buy, and I'm afraid I will fail. Okay, those are true concerns, valid concerns, but let me debunk all that for you because they're not real. The three things needed to succeed, okay? And I'm going to make it dead simple for you. Everything else is limited beliefs that you might have acquired from the gurus themselves who keep telling you that you need to exploit this loophole or go with this method instead of focusing on your own business. So again, I'm going to make it dead simple for you. But first I want to see if you can guess, okay? Based on everything I've told you so far, write what you think is one of the three things needed to succeed online. You should have a great idea by now. So go on. I'll wait a minute. All right, so I'm seeing a ton of awesome answers, and to be honest, all of them are great. I'm seeing clear focus, which is a must, action taking, which is a must, a product, customers, very true, perseverance, list, software to sell, or selling a profitable model. Someone says a coach that knows the secret, so true. Product, product, product. I'm seeing product again and again, which is one of it. Okay, product is definitely one of the three. You need a product. A great email list. A great email list isn't needed at first. Okay, you acquire it by launching a product. Focus, mentor, product launching. Amazing, amazing. Okay, great suggestions. Now, here you go. You need three things. You need number one, a great product. You need a sales page for that product so visitors can come and buy, and you need traffic. That's it. Okay, I'm going to say it again. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think about loopholes. Don't think about those so-called secret strategies because they don't exist. They're only used to get you to buy again and again so many products. And we'll cover all of those three by the end. With those three, you make money completely on autopilot. Now, obviously, there's work involved initially, but once the offer is live, you don't have to do anything else. Affiliates handle the traffic, so you don't have to worry, and you make an incredible amount of money in the beginning. And what's even better is that you still make sales years after the initial launch. And even better, you get the email list. So you can live the true internet marketing lifestyle and enjoy push button profits. Now, here's an example, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is a very conservative one in every aspect. Now, a launch that would do just 1,000 sales at $20 each. That's $20,000 in sales, and let's say you give out 50% commission, which is standard. You make 10,000 profits in your pocket. Then you promote every week a related product, and if 50 people, only 50 people of those 1,000 buy every week, that's $500 per week or $2,000 a month doing next to nothing. That's how beautiful this is, because as I've mentioned, you're building a business. You're laying the foundation, and then you're actually building it up with every subsequent launch, because after this first launch, you come in and launch another product in 2 or 3 months. You make another $10,000 upfront profits in your pocket, and then you literally double your passive income because you have double the list size. So now you're making that initial $2,000 a month plus another 2,000 from this new launch, just sending emails. Now you only need roughly 10 good affiliates per launch to pull this off, so it's much easier than you think at this point, and you'll see why in a second. Now, the big misconception, okay, in internet marketing is that people think that you need to already make a ton of money and have proof to launch. Wrong, okay? This can work, but it's actually not even the best way, because if you have a method that works, but it's really unique and not so attractive, affiliates might pass it all along and promote something that's already established instead, okay? So if you think, if I don't have bombastic proof, no one will buy, that's wrong. You don't have to sell to everyone. Sell to people who know less than you and who would benefit from learning what you do. So if you only make $100 per month and they make 50, they'll want to learn from you. So you don't need huge income claims, or if you follow my strategy, which I'm going to outline in a second, you don't need income claims at all. You don't need to be a guru to launch a product. You don't need to make a lot of money to launch a product. You don't need to make any money at all, in fact. So this is the secret. This is the formula. You go to an established audience and offer them a low price solution, and that will generate huge revenue for you. So that's the number one in our recipe. Remember, we need to have a product, a sales page, and traffic. That's the product. And you start by looking at the current market. You start looking at the so-called big guys. And then you develop an alternative that's just as viable, but much more affordable. So I'm going to show you an example with 2 of my launches and then a third launch from Todd Gross. Okay, number 1 is GoToWebinar. It's actually the platform we're using right now, right? GoToWebinar costs $300 per month for people to use it. So for a regular marketer, paying over $3,000 a year to do webinars is a huge barrier. So most people, there's an audience there already established. People who are using GoToWebinar or people who would like to use GoToWebinar but don't have enough money. So we have that established audience. So I developed an alternative and priced it very low cost, and that's Webinar Hero. Webinar Hero is a one-time fee. I think it's less than $40 as opposed to $300 a month that GoToWebinar is. So Webinar Hero did over $140,000 in sales for me. Why? Because it was an already established audience. Affiliates, they knew that my product was going to sell like crazy because GoToWebinar is already selling like crazy. That means people are attracted to this sort of solution and they're gonna pay for a low price option, okay? So I came in with Webinar Hero and I did a lot of money with it. Now, the second one is Emailjet, which actually is an alternative to our autoresponders like Aweber or GetResponse. And Emailjet cost, I think, $20 as a one-time fee. Now, Aweber starts at $20 per month and limits the number of users you can have and the list size you can market to. So obviously, again, I had the established audience. I went in with EmailJit and I generated just short of $100,000. Okay. And finally, AmazonX. You might have heard of this launch. Now, this is a training product. It sold for $9, but it did over 5,000 sales because it cashed in on the huge Amazon hype that is present right now. I mean, you've all heard of amazing selling machines that sell for $5,000, $6,000 a month. Every 6 months. So AmazonX, a $9 solution for people to start marketing on Amazon. So it turns out you don't need any proof at all because the audience is already there and they can understand and appreciate your products on features alone. Okay? Not proof. And you don't need to do any market research because the market is already there. And with software, this is ridiculously easy to implement. But wait, you might be thinking, isn't software going to be expensive to develop? And do I have to waste months working with Upwork or Odesk with freelancers who barely speak English? Now, those are valid concerns, but they're wrong. Stay with me until the end and you'll see an alternative to doing this easier, cheaper, and all around better. But if you don't want to wait until the end, if you're too excited to wait and want to get started now, test developers first by giving them small tasks. And rest assured that your first product can be an info product and succeed greatly too. Okay, you don't necessarily have to do software. Now, here are two of my launches. Seamless SEO, which was a $17 solution, versus SEOpressor, which was the market leader, short of $500, and Seamless Secure, again $17 versus Backup Buddy, $297. Now, the sales page. Copywriting is crucial, and that's why copywriters can cost thousands because it just works. They write copy that sells, they generate money on demand. But I have some training that's going to show you how to be an amazing copywriter and actually start even a copywriting service if you wish, but also write copy for your product. So let's switch. Okay, here's the example. Let me close this. Hope it resumes where it's supposed to resume and jump to this sales page. Okay, this is a regular sales page. Give me a yes in the chat box if you can see this sales page all right. Yes, okay, great. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to say the formula that I bet that you've seen on every single launch that you've ever witnessed. Every single sales page follows this same formula because it works. Now, in the first headline, you state a big problem, and you can see it here. Okay, warning: don't be one of the 30,000 sites that are hacked every day. And then in the headline, you state the main benefit, which is a new 3-step technology that protects your business against known malware in 2 minutes flat. And the sub-headline states an additional benefit. So as you can see, this removes any objection because you don't need any technical know-how, you don't need to hire an expensive developer, and you get constant and regular backups too. Then you start with problems that some people face and you handpick them so that those problems are the exact problems that your product solves. So 30,000 websites hacked every single day. You start with a personal story. I was hacked. And then you start by instilling some sort of fear, either fear of losing their business, fear of losing out on a big opportunity, and so on. Give me a yes if so far this sounds in line with what 95% of sales pages out there usually sound like. Yes, exactly. They're all the same because they all follow this formula. So you start with problems that people face, you relate to them, you state your own products, but your own problem, but then you say that you cracked the code. Okay, you said that you stumbled by accident or because you have a great team or whatever, and you found a solution that usually sounds too good to be true, and then you state the benefits, and those benefits answer the exact same problems that you stated above. So for instance, this removed every threat in 30 seconds. You're backed up so you can't lose all your traffic in a day. You then give us the demo video, and you give features. If it's software features, if it's training, you give away how you're going to help your customers and what your customers are going to be able to do by the end of your training. And as you can see, those are some features that the software has. A buy button. Now, obviously, this says normally $197 crossed out. It used to be $27 during the launch period. The launch ended, so it's now more expensive. You then come in with testimonials, and you can see them here. And you then do an introduction from the product creator, and again you test you say how much you suffered from this problem and how much your solution solves it. And then again, as you can see here, bottom line is, if you have a secure website, it says, we know it's hard to find a solution that just simply works. And it starts by saying all the troubles somebody has to go through if they were to do it alone. But then we created a simple solution. We give a name, we give the product box, and we compare them to the competition, because as I've mentioned, there's an already established audience there. You give them the alternative, and that's it. You jump to giving a dollar value on each of your features that you mentioned above, as you can see. Again, the product price, and then you finally try and remove all the objections and questions people have. So the biggest one we were facing is that people were thinking, I don't really need all that protection. So then we went again and restated that every single day 30,000 sites get hacked. We came in and reinforced that with even more testimonials from established, as you can see, established vendors who got hacked. So, and then we ended by saying that you need zero technical know-how, zero coding skills, zero previous experience, and zero additional money and tools. Now, let me get back into this. No, 1 second. Let me see where we were. Okay, here. So you might be thinking, this is hard, daunting, and confusing. And yes, it is, okay? If you've just went through this short copywriting training with me, it might have been. But I wanted to help you understand the mechanics behind the great launch, and to be frank, you can master it all within months. It's not that hard, because all you have to do is develop a product, write the sales page. I mean, come on, be honest with yourself. How much time can you spend on the sales page? Are you gonna take a week? A month? Even at a month, even writing, I don't know, 10 words a day, you're still going to finish within a month. You're still going to have a winning sales page for a winning product. So you still have a business. With every 10 words you write every day, you're closer to achieving your dream. Okay, you're not exploiting loopholes that will go away. You're building your business, and that's the difference. Okay, no matter how much time it takes, you're building a real business. So if you don't have a few months though, just stay with me until the end, and I will have an alternative which helps solve this problem altogether. Now, all we need now is traffic, and this is where affiliates come in. Now, what are affiliates? Affiliates are people just like you and me who have email lists, and they want to promote products because they get a commission in exchange. So it's win-win. You don't need to force affiliates to promote. They usually come to you because they're always looking for new products to promote, because obviously they want to exploit their email list and they want to make money from it. So how do you find them? I'm going to show you a demo of a site where you can post your launches, which is called Munchai.com. But first and foremost, pay attention to the following fact, okay? those are still people. So you look on Munchai, as you'll see in a second, and you just add them on Facebook, add them on Skype, and have a real chat with them. Okay, that's how I did it when I first started out. And guess what? Okay, when I had no connections and no idea what to do, all I did was put the product on Munchai, and guess what? Okay, Todd Gross, and I bet that everybody live here knows who Todd Gross is. Todd Gross came to me and said, Radu, this product looks great. I want to promote it. Right? So it's not hard. Most affiliates come to you because they're looking for products to promote. And we're also going to look at the JV page, which is basically a page that you put up for affiliates to promote you. Now I'm gonna close this and hope that it stays where it's supposed to stay. Okay, great. And jump into Munchai, number one, and then the JV page. This is Munchai. This is how launches are supposed to look. If you can see, if you scroll, those are all launches people do. So if you launch on a particular day, your launch will come here. So for instance, I'm launching on the 16th, Radu and Sam, VidCreate. So how do you find affiliates? Number one, you post in Munchai. Number two, all those people launching products, they're also affiliates. Why? Because from a launch, you end up with an email list. So what you do is you take all those names, Sam Becker, Shamon Fredrickson, Aaron Sustar, you try adding them on Facebook, you try finding out their Skype emails, IDs, and then you talk to them, and you'll be surprised, but most people do end up promoting your product because they're always looking for new products to promote. And the JV page is a simple page. Usually it starts out with explaining what the product is. When it's launching, this has already launched. It has an opt-in page for affiliates to stay up to date. It has the link to promote, bonuses they can use, emails they can send out to their list, so there's zero work from them, the funnel details, which states what's on the front end, the upgrade and the second upgrade, why they should promote, the sales video, demo video. Basically, you give them the tools to promote your product. It's not that hard, it's super easy, right? So you might be thinking by now, I give you a crash course in less than 1 hour into launching your own product. We covered how to find a product, how to write winning sales pages, and how to get people to promote. So you might be thinking, thanks for that, Radu. Now what? And that's perfectly fine. I'll be frank, doing it all on your own, you'd have a hard time having a breakthrough. You would need to find someone to pay on Odesk to develop software. It would end up being buggy or expensive. It would be hard to find developers who even speak proper English, and I'm telling you this from experience. Or you can go the info product route, but still have tons of questions throughout the process. What's more, you need to write the sales page, but you don't have previous experience. And the sales page is important, and as a consequence, decent copywriters charge at least $1,000 for a sales page. And no affiliates know you, so they won't really trust you in the beginning, right? Those are all valid concerns. You might be thinking, I'm afraid I'll fail. That's totally okay at this point, right? We were all afraid to fail when starting out, and I'm talking about myself, my coaching students, my affiliate partners. Let fear push you towards success and not detract you from it. Get a coach. Again, get a coach. He will encourage you when you need it most, and you'll feel a lot safer because you know you're doing the tasks he asks you to, so you know you're always on the right path, okay? You're not jumping from method to method. You have a clear path towards success, and every time you have a doubt, you ask him, he gives you the right answer, a new perspective, and so on. So let me sum up. In order to make huge money, you need to sell a product. It's that easy. And if you want to take it further, do it better and quicker, get a coach. And there's going to be a bit more info on that later. Now, here's where I come in. If you remember a little earlier, I told you that getting a coach was the best decision you could make online. And there's so much potential with the right guidance, you can do really, really well. For example, okay, we've already talked about Mark Bishop. I took him from somebody who was doing affiliate sites as his main income to launching his first product, $25,000 profit, the most sold product over a period of 30 days in Warrior Plus. And he's now a full-time email marketer. He promotes products to his emails. He makes money on autopilot from the comfort of his home. But what about Jan Ralphs? When he came to me, he had no idea what launching means. Then in his first launch, he did $58,547 and got A-star affiliates on board promoting. I mean, if you're looking at who's promoting, you've got Todd Gross, Sam Becker, Richard Fairbairn, JV Zhu, which is BBC Systems, Han Fan, Craig Crawford, Neil Napier, and so on. Those are all awesome marketers, and they're all affiliates because they have email lists from products they launch, and they want to promote to those email lists relevant products, right? So it wasn't hard for Jan to do over $50,000 in sales. And Rahil, okay, Rahil didn't even speak English as his first language. And by the way, I don't speak English as my first language either, if it isn't obvious yet. And we still succeeded, okay? Rahil came to me with a software idea, and he left with over $40,000 in sales from the launch that emerged afterwards. And there are a lot more success stories, but as you can probably understand, most of my students, they don't want me to share their names and case studies freely. But I've gave you 3 examples already. I've got a ton more to back up my system, and this all proves that the system works and my coaching works. All you have to do is actually take action on what I teach, and you will succeed. I guarantee it, right? So here are the details. Now, my coaching program, I only take a few people on each year, and in fact, the last time I did it was in January this year, so 9 to 10 months ago, right? I usually do it one time a year, and I picked October for this year because what's coming next is November, December, and January, which usually are the highest grossing months because everybody is in a buyer frenzy. So if it ever was a time to join in and start launching your own product, now it's the time, right? There's a good reason to jump on board now and to start launching your own products. Now, before I begin, let me tell you that there's currently a waiting list to join my coaching program, so please don't share the following information. It's just between me and you, my customers, okay? Now, your opportunity. I've decided to open up just 20 spots to my coaching program for you and allow you to get in for 65% off. Now, this is an amazing opportunity that not even people on my waiting list are aware of. But it's strictly limited to 20 people on a first come, first serve basis. Now, I might or might not open some for the replay, as I plan on sending out a replay too. But I mean, if you want to be sure, jump now on the opportunity, because you don't want to wait another 9 months, 6 months, or whatever the time is until I launch again. Now, I'm super excited for the 20 of you that are going to join. And I can't wait to be working one-on-one, and this is true one-on-one coaching, okay? It's not some group coaching, it's not some weekly webinars we do, it's one-on-one. You get with me on Skype, we chat about your business, and I show you everything you need to do to take your business to the next level, and we work together over a period of 6 weeks at least, right? With some coaching students, I talk even after a year. We have those so-called strategy calls every few months, so I can check in on how they're doing and maybe give some advice here and there. Now, inside this coaching program is where I show you exactly how to create a 6-figure business from scratch with no list, no partners, no money, literally nothing. Now, check it out right now. And I'm going to share the link in the chat too, but you can type it in your browser as well. All the details are on the page, and I'm going to jump and check the page with you too, so I can quickly explain everything that's on there. And I will help you, just like I helped Mark do over $20,000 profit on his first launch, or Rahil and Diane each do over 40,000 with their launches each, right? So let's check that page quickly. And okay, let's check that page. Let me quickly see where we're supposed to. Give me 1 second. Okay, great. Can everybody still hear my voice and see my screen all right? Give me a Y in the chat box if you can. I'm having a little bit of problems with the presentation software. Okay, great. Awesome. Right. So this is the page with all the details. You should have received it in the chat box as well. And it's raduh.com/circle if you haven't visited yet. And I'm going to show you how to make 6 figures this year and make 2015 your biggest money making year yet. Now, you're getting one-on-one coaching with me where I will help you launch your product and profit immensely from the launch. We work together until you've had your successful launch done and you're happy with the results. So even if I mentioned we're talking about 6 weeks at least, if you don't launch within those 6 weeks, there's no pressure. I'm going to work with you until you do. So not only you'll be able to make a ton of money from the launch, you'll also be set with an email list and you'll be able to promote products and make passive revenue for life. So you won't be able not to make money after I'm done with you. Plus you get all these awesome bonuses that are each worth the price of admission. And we're going to quickly cover bonuses too. But you get at least 6 one-on-one coaching sessions, and we'll meet one-on-one on Skype and go over every aspect of your business. You'll have assignments and you need to keep on track each week so that you are on the right path to success. You get my help at each step of the way. You're not alone in this journey. As I mentioned, I've helped dozens of students succeed online, and I'm ready to do the same for you. So anytime you've got a question you're not sure about, I'm here to guide you. You get weekly goals and tasks, and I will send you specific tasks to perform in order to become successful and make money. And by following my advice every week, you will reduce your chances of failure to an absolute zero. Now, there's also 6-figure training, and the first week of training is already done. There's also like a membership portal where every single week I will post content based on the feedback I get from you coaching students, okay? So this is not a training course that's already there for you to watch. I do the coaching with you, and as a consequence of what I learn from interacting with you, I shoot videos explaining the details. So we talk the big business points in the coaching calls, and then you have the videos in the training that I shoot so you can actually understand it. And so we don't waste time on the coaching calls. We only focus on the big aspects and on me helping guide you towards success. You get support and motivation. So if you ever feel you need that extra kick in the butt to take massive action, then I'll make sure you get your business where you want it to be. Now the cost is extremely low. It says here it's now just $9.97. It's actually lower. If you try the buy button, you'll see that it's actually lower because I'm doing a special just for this particular webinar. So you get coaching with me one-on-one for a ridiculously low price. So I'm 100% certain you will make your money back many times over. Here's just a taste of what's inside, okay? It's my personally launch blueprint. So from finding a winning idea to creating the perfect product to generating insane levels of income, it's all held within my personal launch blueprint, which I use in every one of my launches to guarantee massive success. Now you get access to it as well so you can model me with my help. Now I generate 6 figures with each of my launches, and now you can too. Now you also get access to my 1K per day formula. So if you ever wanted true financial freedom, and I mean working 2 hours a week from your home, then this is it. It does require some upfront taking action, but once the system is set up, it's a true 1K per day money maker with zero effort. And this is where we cover email marketing tips and strategies so that you keep making money on and on and on from your email list. There's also some secret strategies that I use to launch without ever creating my own products. So you can actually launch a product with my coaching without ever creating it. And it sounds crazy, but it's true, and it's held within the training area. And you'll be able to find developers ready to give you their products for free to launch. And there's also a $140,000 case study, so you can peek into what I did step by step on the launch that netted me 140K. So you can replicate everything I do and turn your very own launches into profit pooling machines. Now, I've got the bonuses covered in the keynote too. So let me see where we are. Okay, here. Awesome. So the beta spots sold in 2 hours when I first opened a few years ago. So expect this to sell out as well. Now, throughout my coaching career, I've helped over 100 students now make at least $5,000 a month. So this is as close as it can get to a guarantee that you'll be successful online. Here, let's check it out and see what you get as being part of the Inner Circle membership. Let's check the training plan because as I mentioned, week 1 already awaits for you. The moment you jump in, the moment you invest in my coaching, you get access to some training even before we jump on the actual one-on-one coaching calls. Now, all the training you need to succeed, it's delivered to you even before we do the coaching, as I mentioned. So the one-on-one time is spent exactly on the big money makers, while the details are left for the training. And it's updated weekly based on your feedback. And as I mentioned, week 1 already awaits. So let's take a quick look of what you get from week 1 alone. Okay, and this is just covering the basics. With week 2 and subsequently, it's going to get crazy, and you're going to see thousands of ways of making money from launching your product and thousands of ways of finding so-called shortcuts that you don't need to pay developers, you don't need to find developers, you don't need to shoot videos for your info product and so on. It's really cool, and I'm gonna quickly share with you how it looks inside the membership if I can. Okay, so this is week 1. As I mentioned, you get access to the launch plan blueprint, and those are all videos, by the way. I can open one and show you. Let me see. Right, so there's the name of the training, the training video, the download, a short description. It's basically easy to follow and it's easy to implement too. And as I mentioned, the big plus is that you get to work with me one-on-one. Now, number 1, you get access to my launch plan blueprint, so you can emulate it and build your launch around this very same plan that I use with every one of my launches. Then we dive deep into how to come up with winning product ideas, so you can easily find the best ideas for your next launch, be them info products, as we cover how to create the perfect info products, or developing and outsourcing software. And you also got me in the one-on-one coaching calls, so you come up with some ideas and then you go to me, say, Radu, this is what I came up with, are those good? Right? And this is huge because I've seen hundreds of products so far. I can tell exactly which one will sell, which one won't, and I can steer you on the right path. And if you're into developing software, I also have my full team of developers available for you. So you don't have to actually go and work with developers who don't speak English, who say they will do a job in 1 week and then take 3 months, or who don't even understand how to code, right? You can work with my team if you want to build a software to launch. And we also cover profit sucking upsells, and that's how you create upsells for your products that bring in a lot of extra money. And we also deal with some misconceptions around building upsells. Then obviously a bonus, which I'll cover quickly, you also get white label software for free as being part of the inner circle. And there's also done for you product launch service where my team helps you every step of the way into building the product. So you're not alone in this. This is not the usual training course. You have my support, my assistance every step of the way. And this is just in week 1. You have the profit tsunami model, which is exactly what I suggest you do step by step to propel yourself from unknown marketer to guru status. And finally, you learn the strategy, which is deadly effective of launching without ever creating a product. This is all in week 1. It's crazy. Now, again, let me see. Okay, we checked this. Okay, Radu, but you still haven't answered a few things you might be thinking. So I get your coaching, so I have clarity and I know what to do every single step of the way. That's fantastic. And it really is, because in internet marketing, there aren't a lot of people who help you, give you clarity. So you still need the product, sales page, and affiliates. And I'm glad you asked, because the circle comes with some amazing bonuses. Number 1 is a white label software. So you actually get one of my already highly successful software tools. You get them rebranded and changed, so it's 100% custom to you, and it's proven to sell. Okay, I've already sold it. It sold great, so the audience is there. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, and those software sell themselves. And you get them rebranded, white labeled, so they look totally different than mine. And it's a free bonus as part of being inside the inner circle. Now, you get access to your very own software. It's fully rebranded to market you. You select this from a suite of software tools which are proven to convert and sell. You'll be able to offer just what the market wants. Number 2, another free bonus is that you get your sales page reviewed by me. So you'll get a ton of copywriting training on how to do the perfect sales page as part of subsequent weeks, and my assistance with it. But you also get me to custom tailored redesign, rewriting of your sales copy. So you don't need to pay $1,000 plus to a copywriter, and you get a deep understanding of how to do it yourself from then on. Number 3, and this is huge, okay? VIP affiliate connections and JV blast. That's what you get from me as a third bonus. I will connect you to my top affiliates to ensure that your launch is a huge success. Plus, I will promote your launch to my JV list of over 600 affiliates. So this exposure alone will make your launch a hit, and you generate tens of thousands in no time. Bonus number 4 is a personal email promotion from me. This is probably by far the biggest bonus one could come up with, because I have a list of over 18,000 customers, all interested in buying your product. In fact, every time I promote something, I usually generate at least $5,000 in sales. So you'll make your money back on the inner circle investment just from this promo. Now, let me be blunt and ask you, how productive was last month for you? Because if you haven't made $20,000 profit, let me tell you, it wasn't productive enough. That's what several of my students made after working with me and after the coaching period, and that's where I want to get you as well. So with the inner circle access, you get unrestricted access to a 6-figure marketer. So if you haven't made any money online yet, I promise you will by the end of the coaching. And if you're already successful, I can make you 10 times what you're currently making by implementing my strategies into your business. It's that easy. It's that easy. So why waste another second? You now have in front of you the best opportunity to live the internet lifestyle you've always wanted, to build a real online business, one that generates huge passive income every single month. And I've made the same decision several years ago and I haven't looked back since. So join the circle today, okay? Stop twiddling your thumbs, take action now. Let me share again the link for you so you can click it as well. Right, so I'm gonna take some questions now, and then there's a little bit left of the presentation, and we'll see where we go from there, okay? Now, this is something, before I look at the personal questions that you've asked in the chat box, actually you start ahead. If you haven't already written a question for me, go ahead and do in the chat box. I'm going to look in there in a moment. But just before, I want to address some big questions I get all the time. I don't know how to launch a product. Now, it should be abundantly clear by now that I'll be taking you by the hand and I will show you every single step that you need to do to succeed. We'll meet weekly one-on-one on Skype. This is one-on-one coaching, okay? For 10 times less than what's supposed to be. And we'll discuss the strategy. I'll show you what to do every single week without fail. Now, you'll have my personal email address too, so we can talk anytime, day or night, you have a question, concern, and so on. Now, another question I get is that, another concern is that English is not my first language. And guess what? Neither is mine. So, this is nothing to worry about. There are a lot of seven-figure marketers out there who I can assure you speak worse English than you. You can succeed just as well with English as your second language. Now, Radu, what's your guarantee? Now, this is plain and simple, and it's something that no one else offers in the marketplace. If you don't make any money while taking action and implementing the launch plan, I'll give you all your investment back, right? So yes, you do have to take action and you do have to show me that you struggled and actually tried to implement the plan. So this coaching is not for slackers. But if you do, and if you can't make any money, I'm going to give you your money back. That's how sure I am you'll succeed. Because my students ended up doing $20,000 profit at the end of the coaching. So I'm sure that you can just as well. Now, what's the catch? The catch is that I can only take 20 people on this offer, and it's obviously because there's my personal time involved. There are hundreds on this webinar right now, so I expect it to sell out as soon as I finish the webinar. The second catch is that this still requires some work from you. Now, I will guide you every single step of the way, and together we'll actually build a real business for you, as opposed to jumping from method to method with no success. So I will show you how to make it online, but you still need to put in at least 1 hour of work a day. Now, here's the link again. I'll be taking questions in just a minute, but if I were you, I would join as fast as I can. I'm actually going to check in a minute how many people are still left, but let me drop the link again for you. And again, this one-on-one coaching, I agree, it's not cheap, but it's extremely affordable for everything you get. I mean, just think about it. Besides the one-on-one coaching factor, you get all those awesome bonuses that can stand on their own as valuable enough to justify the entry price. So at this point in time, we actually only have 8 more spots of the 20 I opened. So 8 more spots that are still up for grabs if you want to be a part of the inner circle. And this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. As I mentioned, I only open it every 6 months to a year or so. So I would definitely get access now if I were you. So let's recap before I jump in and answer all those awesome questions. Number one, you get one-on-one coaching with a six-figure marketer. You get premium training through a platform that provides you with step-by-step action plan. You get your very own software tested and proven to convert. If you want to sell it, I mean, you're not obliged to sell the software we white label for you. As you can see, there are tons of other ways to develop an info product, to develop a software through my developer team, or through outsourcing, or to launch without ever creating a product. So we offer tons of different options. But if you want to go with this one, it's free, 100%. You get your very own software tested and proven to convert. You get your very own sales page reviewed by me personally. You get a JV email sent out to all my 600 affiliate partners and VIP affiliate connections, and you get a private promo from me to my email list. I mean, this is a total no-brainer because that's $19,000 worth of value that you get for much, much less. So take a minute and think this through. You don't need to treat internet marketing like a hobby because it's a business. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see. People start out in internet marketing like it's a hobby, but it's a real business. And real businesses, they require some upfront investments. Now, how much does it cost to start an offline business? Just think about it. How much would it cost to rent the place if you were to do a restaurant? Hire staff, buy equipment, buy the food you're going to cook, and so on. It's going to cost you between high five figures to low six figures. Now, an online business still requires an investment, but it's much lower and the ROI is much, much better. So, again, one more thing, I'm going to start answering questions soon because I see a lot of good questions. So you go ahead and start typing them if you haven't yet, but there's also a split pay option available too. So I'm going to give you the link to the split pay option now, but this is also a great choice for you if you want to join the circle, but you don't have all the upfront investment at this point in time. Now, questions, right? Those are the links, the circle and the split pay option. I'm going to give them to you one final time in the chat box, and then I'm answering questions, and then we're checking out if there are any more spots left, right? So again, the inner circle, and the split pay option. Right, so let me see some of the questions, okay? Okay, so I got Brian. Hey, Brian, asking what kind of website do I need? WordPress? Well, I personally use WordPress to create my pages, and I use OptimizePress. But as you see inside the inner circle, I'm going to provide you with some free options, with some affordable options, as well as premium options. So you can do it on a budget, no doubt about it, or you can go all out and do it the best way possible. But both approaches, or better yet, going somewhere in the middle, they all work. Which autoresponder is best to use? There are several options. Aweber is really good because it also integrates with JVZoo. So Aweber is what I would personally recommend. So you also ask a good question: how much money do I need to start out besides the coaching fee? So you'll need a few things. Number one is a website and hosting, which, as you all know, is super cheap. You need an autoresponder, which is $19 per month, so $20 per month. Let's say $25 per month to add in the hosting too. And then you would also need a page builder of sorts. I have my own I can hook you up with, but for free, obviously. But if you want a more developed one, a more complex option, OptimizePress is $97. So maybe $150, so to speak, as extra money besides the inner circle investment. And then if you opt for an info product, obviously no other costs. If you opt in for developing a software, well, that costs for developing the software itself. But as you'll see, you can also sell the software after the launch. So you do the launch, you get all the money, you get the email list, and then you can sell it to somebody else who picks it up and does another launch, right? So even if it costs you, say, $500 up front, you get more in the backend. Seamless SEO, I developed for roughly $1,000, and then I did the launch. We did $80,000 in sales, and then I sold the software completely for $2,000. So I made twice the money back just from selling the software rights to someone else. Everything else from the launch, again, my profit. How many hours per week will I need to work for a launch? As I mentioned, about 1 to 2 hours a day are ideal, but obviously you can still do it if you work, say, if you have a day job and that's your main concern. You can still do it by working 2 days out of those 7, say 3 to 4 hours each, right? So you need to accommodate it somehow into your schedule, no doubt about it, but it won't take all your day, it won't take all your week. Will we have access to our JV affiliates perpetually or just for once? So as you'll see, I send out the email connection for you. If they decide to promote, they will reach out, and obviously at this point the relationship is yours to use as you may please, right? I can't take away, and I don't want to take away the relationship from you. So once that connection is established, he wants to promote for you or whatever else, at that point in time, even if I wanted to, there's nothing I can do, but I don't. Okay, so I want you to develop good relationships with my affiliates because they aren't mine. That's what you need to understand, right? This is an email list I've accumulated over a period of 3 to 4 years I've been online launching. But those affiliates, they promote literally every quality product. So the way I'll show you to develop a product will attract those affiliates, and you'll turn them into loyal supporting partners. Somebody asks, what about support team to answer questions? Now, if you go with the white label version, we can help with the support. If you do an info product, your support will be super low. But if you develop a software on your own, obviously you will need to provide support. But I wouldn't be so afraid. I personally don't provide my own support. I have a support team. I pay them $150 for a 2-week period during the launch. They handle all the technical questions, they handle all the support. I don't even think about it, right? I log in at the end of each day to make sure all the tickets are cleared and to make sure all the customers are happy. So support really isn't a concern. I already have about a half dozen top selling 2015 white label rights products. Could I launch those bundled? Yes, that's an option. Join the coaching, get with me on a call quickly so that we can look at what you can do as possibly a Black Friday promotion or a Christmas promotion or something like that, as I've seen those bundles work very well during a Black Friday offer, right? If you get affiliates and they have customers that buy, do those buyers go on your customer list? So if you're talking about my customer list, no. If those affiliates promote you, those buyers, they stay on your list. So I don't get your leads, if that's the question. If the question was if you get the leads, yes, you get the leads. When you launch, you get all the leads that your affiliates send. You get them on your email list. You can then promote to them repeatedly. So that's a great asset. What if I don't have any product idea, not even a software idea? How can you work with me? Okay, Daniel, this isn't a concern because the moment you join the circle, you get access to all those videos that give you great ideas. And at the end, if you still don't have an idea, you jump on a call with me. That's what's so great about the inner circle, right? You don't have to be afraid about not knowing stuff because you have me there for you to help. You get on a call with me, I give you some ideas, you then research them and see what fits for you, what sounds attractive for you, and you can obviously go ahead and launch it. So yes, if you ask me if I can work with you, definitely, right? This shouldn't even be a concern. By the end of you watching the first week training, you should have 10 ideas, not one idea. But even if you don't, you get on a call with me and I help you, right? It's that cool. Somebody asks, I live in Brazil. Does this work in my country? John, I'm not sure how PayPal works in Brazil, but other than PayPal issues, you need to check if there are PayPal issues. If you can use PayPal, then yes, you can use the system. It works worldwide where PayPal is accepted. So as long as you're in a country that accepts PayPal and you can send payments and you can receive payments, then yes, the system works for you. Somebody asks if I am mailing for more than one time. Now, depending on the quality of the product, I may mail for several times, but you get a guaranteed one mailing. So obviously you're working with me, so I will do my absolute best to ensure your product is at the highest quality level possible so that I can promote more times. And I can also promote in the future some of your future products. I do that all the time with coaching students who went on and started launching other products. Mark Bishop is a great example. I promote his stuff all the time because it's great. So as long as you're putting out quality products, I'm just like a regular affiliate. I promote quality products. Let me see some more questions. I mean, great, happy to have you on board. Thank you to everybody that joined. I'm gonna check if there are any spots left in a second. Thank you all. Yes, I do split. I'm not sure if I understand the question. Okay, so you're asking me, do you do split sales option? If this is about the coaching, yes, go to raduh.com/circle-2. It's the split pay option here link. It's on this slide. Okay, does anybody else have any more questions? Did I overlook some of the questions? Just let me know. Just type them in again, please, because I might have, jumped over them. There were a ton of them, so I really want to make sure I get them all. Somebody asks me about. Let me answer this privately. Yeah, Brian. Alrighty. How do we make profit? Somebody asks. Well, it should be obvious by now. Every time you sell a product, you get 50% of the profits. The affiliate keeps the other 50%. That's profit in your pocket. Then you get the email list with everybody that buys. You start promoting to them. There lies another profit source. Great. Thank you for joining. Excellent, excellent. I'm so happy to have you all on board. Now I'm gonna check how many spots are left and see if people can still join. All right, so there are actually just 2 more spots available. So if anybody is still interested, you need to join now, right? There might not be another option for you to join until say 6 to 9 months from now. So you want to get on board now. Again, as I mentioned, I chose this time period specifically because what comes in the subsequent months is the highest sale period for internet marketing products. It's they're the holidays. Everybody does Black Friday specials, Christmas specials, and so on. People are in a buying frenzy, so it's the best time to get in this market. So obviously, join the circle at the full price. Join using the split pay option. Either way, come on board. I'm looking forward to helping you succeed and helping you make a ton of money with your product launch. How long does it take to see a profit? Now, this depends on how much time you put into, and it depends on how long it takes for you to understand certain concepts. But usually, on average, I would say six weeks, right? That's basically why I've designed this course to be around 6 weeks, because that's what most people need to succeed and need to start building profits. Okay, somebody asks me about the product price being $9.97. If you actually click the buy button, you'll see that the product price is at a special right now, so it's even lower than $9.97. It's actually $6.97 if you go ahead and click the buy button. So that's an amazing price I'm offering. If I were you, I would jump on board and secure my spot. So let me refresh this one more time. See if I think everybody joined so far. So we got our 10, 20 people on board. Right, amazing, amazing. So there's one more spot left. If there aren't any questions anymore, I'm going to shut this down. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me. It was amazing to have you all. If after ending this webinar the link still works, then it means that that one spot is still available. If you wanted to join but couldn't, I will send out 100% the replay, but I might open some new spots for the replay too. So if you wanted to join but couldn't, there's a chance you can watch the replay and join during that period. Other than that, there's one more spot out of the 20. I'll wait 30 seconds or so to see if anyone else live right now has any more questions. If not, I'm going to close this now. And again, thank you so much for being here. It was awesome teaching you basically everything I do in my business, everything I know, and having so many of you jump on board the inner circle. I'm looking forward to working with all of you and turn you into the next top 5% A-list marketers out there, the sort of marketers people look up to and respect. All right, thank you all for being here. What I'm going to do is close this now. It was awesome teaching you everything, and thank you once again for staying with me. Hope to see you or in another webinar sooner this time than the usual 6 months I do. And have a great week, have a great productive week. Thank you for staying with me. It was a pleasure, and I will see you, all of those who joined. I will see you on the inside. I will see you on those Skype coaching calls. and I'm sure we'll all have a great time. Thank you once more, and have a great week.